Greetings! Hi everyone, I hope you're amazing. I'm just gonna get comfortable right here. Nikki gotta be comfortable. This is the angle. Praise. Okay, so, long time no film video. If you're watching this and you're a subscriber to my channel or you usually watch my content, thank you so much because it has been forever. I still have a drama school vlog that I need to upload, the final one. I haven't done a Tea Time Tuesday for ages and I feel like I owe an explanation, so the first part of this video is going to be a really quick explanation. One, I've just been like super ridiculously hectically busy. Life has been busy in a good way. Two, I guess part of me has been a little bit lazy and I was struggling to come up with some videos, and I realised forcing myself to come up with content for Tea Time Tuesday that was consistently related to the world of theatre was kind of difficult but also kind of unnecessary. You know, I'm not like a critic by nature. It's something I enjoy doing. It made me consider why I started the channel in the first place. And I started this channel because I got super into Camp NaNoWriMo and NaNoWriMo in general, and I just loved watching other people's writing vlogs, and so that was originally my goal, and it didn't turn out like that, which is really weird. And so what I'm bringing to you today, the very first episode of, is Nikki's writing vlog. And it's basically just going to be a space for us writing and reading nerds to just sit and discuss the craft of writing. I know it sounds strange, but those are my favourite types of videos on YouTube. I love hearing about people's writing projects and how they're going about it and learning things as I watch it. Also, this is like a really fun space because, let's be honest, like in real life, people don't actually want to hear about your book. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't really want to hear about, like, it's cool that you're writing one, but they don't want to hear the particulars of you writing the book. So here is a fun space where I just get to be my little nerdy self. So, for those of you who don't know, if you don't know, I'm going to link a video to down below me unboxing my book. I wrote a book. It's a YA fantasy book. It's very exciting. I am just starting part 2 of it. So the series is going to be a duology. So this is the concluding book in the series that I've just started. So the starting of it has been going quite slowly because I'm in the final couple of weeks of my masters and everything is completely insane. And like, I'm not even joking when I say there is not time to be crafting whole new worlds and situations and plots right now. Like, I have not had the time, which is fine because I'm doing what I love anyway. And after that, I will be getting back to writing the book. But something that I was really excited about to share in this update is the fact that I got feedback from someone who I super duper admire. He is one of my old lecturers from my old universities, but I'm also going to call him a friend now. Like, he's not just a mentor, he's not just a lecturer, he's not just a friend, he's just awesome. And so I graduated and he'd read the first part of my book for my course. And after I graduated, I messaged him and was like, hey, so you know that first part of the book that you read? It's part of a whole book. I finished the whole book. It's over 100,000 words long at this point. It's 105,000 words long, which is fine because it's an epic fantasy. I really admire your advice. Will you please read it and just don't edit it, obviously. Like, I'm not that much of a douchebag, but like, just tell me what you think about it because I'd really appreciate it. Because this guy gets me. This guy gets, like, he'll read my words and then he'll just sort of be like, oh, I see what you're trying to do here. In that case, try this. And it's so helpful, guys. It's so helpful. Get you someone who can do both. What? So it was really funny because my email was like so apologetic. I was like,
I'm so sorry. I know it's a big favour. Feel free to say no. Honestly, feel free to say no. And I'm really sorry to be that annoying ex-student. Seriously, feel free to say no.
2 days after he messaged me and was like, yeah, sure, I'll be happy to read it. Yeah, just send it over when you're done. And I was like, what? It's really funny because I remember when we were graduating, he and all our other lecturers were like, oh, just message us if you need anything, you know, it's what we're here for, like, even though you graduated. And all of us students are like, nah, they're making this up, like, you just gotta say this. But then he said it quite a few times and I was like, I feel like you're not the kind of person, like, you wouldn't just make this up, like, just to be polite or nice. Like, if you're saying this, you genuinely mean this. So let me ask. So this is Wisdom with Nikki. You don't ask, you don't get, guys. So I'm just saying. Y'all should be asking. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, the whole point of this long ramble was basically that he got back to me with the feedback. It was so lovely. Like, literally sent me like a good 2 pages worth of feedback and was like, this is what I thought of it. I think this is really great about it. I think you should work on this, and I'm here to help you with this, and this. so helpful. So, you would think that I'd be diving into a draft number, what are we even on now, like 5 of this book, like draft number 5. The reason we're not on draft 5 yet is because my book is also with a friend of mine who, like, I literally only just gave it to him. And I think he's very busy this week. He has like next week off or something like that. And I'm not going to say names just because I never know what people are like with like hearing their names on my blogs or on, you know, like people just like their privacy. So hey friend, if you're watching this, you know who you are. And so this friend of mine, he's just like so cool and really, really smart, which is very helpful when you have a beta reader for your book. And so I know he beta read, is that the past tense of beta read, let's go with that. So he beta read some of my book a year ago, and his advice was so helpful. So I literally came back to him this year and was like, hey, so the whole book's finished now, would you like a copy? And he was like, sure. So he's going to read that for me, and I'm very much looking forward to what he says, because I know he and my lecturer are quite different in terms of, I think, like belief systems and like just backgrounds and stuff, so it would be helpful to know how different people take different things. So like basically my book is a Christian fantasy book, so it's helpful to see how, like, you know, someone from a Christian background might find it as opposed to someone from like an atheist background or like whatever, and are they both able to enjoy the book basically. Yeah, so that's been a fun little experiment. What else has been going on in the world of Nikki's writing? Oh, I don't want to say I've started a play, but I did write a scene for a play today, which was quite horrific. Not in terms of the writing being horrific, more the content within the scene being horrific. It's made more horrific by the fact that I don't actually know where the play is going, so I just have this horrific, brutal, violent scene, and I'm just like, I don't know this poor character necessarily where she's come from, or necessarily where she's going. Also, another thing I thought would be fun to talk about really briefly is how to continue writing when you took writing as a degree. Okay, because I feel like it's harder than maybe if you like had a different degree and then you were also a writer, I feel like that would be easier than continuing after you've done a degree. And I think the reason is, when you study something, some of the things you do sort of become an obligation. I think this is probably the reason why like it's been this way for a lot of my friends. Once you study something, it kind of becomes an obligation. So when you get a break from that, you might be like, oh, this is cool, I'm gonna chill. So for me, after I graduated, okay, to be fair, after I graduated, I did write a whole play very quickly after that. But then after that, there was like a little bit of a dry period, and I don't know whether to attribute the dry period to the fact that I was editing a novel, so I wasn't really writing that much new, fresh content, or to the fact that I'd recently graduated, if that makes sense. Because I was speaking to some people, and a lot of people, I know, because it's been a year since graduation now. I'm getting old. It was my birthday this week. My friends and people haven't been writing. And it's just weird because we were made to write like pretty much every single day. So it's weird that like lots of people have like fallen out of their writing. I have a friend of mine who's like, I'm really upset that, you know, I haven't been writing as much and trying to get back into it. And she's doing really well. Like, she submitted a thing for a screenwriting competition, which is lit. Well done, friend of mine. So that's really, really cool. I think it's difficult, I think maybe, because you're just kind of, I think maybe you're so used to having the luxury to write, okay? So when you're doing a creative writing degree, you have the ultimate excuse to write, which is that you're doing a degree in writing, you have to do it. You have so much of an excuse. You can tell people, no, I can't go out because I have a writing assignment to do, even though you love writing. I mean, it's still work, but you love it. So you're gonna, you know, you're making time for it. And then once you graduate, life just kind of hits you. June. You realise that you don't really have an excuse to write necessarily. Like, you have to make the excuse. You have to be the reason, if that makes sense. Like, no one's going to be breathing over your shoulder. No one's going to understand that you're going to write instead of going out. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, people aren't going to be as accepting anymore because there isn't a grade attached. But you know what's more important than a grade? Your happiness, okay? This is what I'm here to say. So, if you're not happy about the fact that you're not writing, like, just, you got to start and you got to make time for it. That's it. It's like when people say, like, I don't have time to read anymore. Like, realistically, we all have, like, 23 minutes spare in the day. So what it is that not that you don't have time to read, it's just that reading's not a priority. I'm not saying that's like a horrible thing, but if you're honest with yourself, it's probably just not a priority. You're probably prioritizing the Netflix, the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. How many do I know? The Tumblr, the Pinterest. did I say YouTube already? The Bebo, the Google Plus, lol jokes, nobody's using Google Plus, that's not lie. But anyway, I remember, so this is the same lecturer who recently read my book. He asked me, oh, like, what are you working on now that you've finished the book? And it was weird because it was like, for the first time in a year, I had license to write. It felt like I was being given permission to spend time writing. Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody necessarily asked me that kind of thing, but it was kind of like, the expectation was that he was kind of like, okay, so you finished this, what's your next thing? Like, I don't know how to explain it, do you know what I mean? Like, the expectation isn't always there that I'll finish something and move straight onto something. You know, sometimes when you don't have the expectation on you, you just kind of relax and you don't do anything. But I realised that, whoa, okay, here's somebody that's actually expecting me to be on top of my ish and actually write. So that was really cool. Anyway, that's my writing update for now. I'll see you later, and I plan on doing more of these. So stay tuned for the riveting saga that is Nikki writing and working on books and things. And let me know if you're writing anything, because as I said, I'm a writing geek, and I really enjoy hearing about people's projects. So genuinely, if you're working on something, drop me a message, because I like to know, and who knows, maybe we could read each other's work or something. So yes, I love how I went through this entire video without explaining this, and I love how I'm about to end this video still not explaining it. Bye!